Well, after some time goes by, you have written out everything that you have learned about the place and whatnot, and the test gets passed in, goes over everything. It is announced that Taurus has won the competition by, well, quite a bit of a large margin. It appears that his studying that he did yesterday paid off.
It was good. 6, 8 hours of studying.
Yeah.
Definitely need to get my eyes a rest soon.
Well, the guy, whatever the hell his name was, if he ever got named, no, he got a gender eventually, calls for you to come up to get your reward of another knowledge pendant.
Okay.
I assume you go up to get your knowledge pendant.
Yeah, I just wrote it down first.
Well, he also tells you, well, unlike yesterday when I couldn't tell you what the other knowledge pendant did, this one I actually found out, it's a history knowledge pendant. Seems appropriate and whatnot, considering the test.
Okay.
I forget what the knowledge pendant did off the top of my head, but it was a +5 competence bonus?
Yes, and if it's like the nobility pendant, it has a special thing you can use once a day for like a plus something bonus on a skill check.
Oh, yeah. And Marcus got the knowledge pendant for local?
Yes, and he passed that on to me. So I'm holding all three.
You might actually want to keep all three, by the way. You might be able to find a smith that can combine it into one super pendant.
Hey,
What is this, Victor Varand?
the pendant of greater knowledge.
No, that would be transmutation.
Yeah, the Smith of Transmutation. What about it?
Anyway, he asked for you to stay a moment. Just
Okay.
kind of give you an update on what you will be winning as a bonus prize. And beckons? No. Dismisses everyone else from the competition, you know, thanking them for coming, blah blah blah. I assume Taurus stays for the moment, right?
Yeah. So you wanted to talk to me about something?
Yeah, I know I mentioned yesterday a bit about what the bonus prizes were, but since you and your friend, what was his name, Unan, was it?
Yeah, Unan.
Since you and your friend Unan have won, well, 3 competitions now, the medium house is up for yours to grab, along with a bag of holding. But as you may know, we still have one more competition tomorrow. And do keep in mind that a large furnished house would be available for you to win at tomorrow's competition, so...
The tongues competition?
Yes.
Well, you'll definitely see me there, because that is my specialty, actually.
Well, if anyone else in your group, you know, wants to help kind of ensure you guys actually are able to get the furnished house, you know, make sure to bring it up to them if they seem interested enough to even come down.
I think if I mention it, 2 or 3 are actually probably gonna also show up if they've got nothing else going on.
Yeah, well, the large furnished house is not cheap at all, so it'd be
Yeah,
a bit of a shame if you guys missed out on it.
I'll definitely make sure at least I'm here, but I'll try and grab them too.
Also, out of character kind of talk. The large furnished house, if you guys end up, you know, traveling a lot and not wanting to ever come back to this place, you guys could always sell the house and the contents and get quite a bit of gold for you to start your own place elsewhere. If there's a more central location for you guys at some point in the future.
Okay.
I want a house.
Okay. Other than that little bit of conversation with you, Taurus, there's, you know, of course, a little bit of idle chatter, you know, like, you know, how's the weather, or about the weather and stuff like that, and other than that, there's not much else to be said.
I'll take my leave once we've kind of exhausted our talking points then.
Alright, well, he waves night to you, or night. He waves bye to you. Rain thought it was later in the day for some reason.
And I'm gonna start heading over towards the Thieves Guild.
Alright, well, before you get too far away from the town hall, considering, you know, you're the very first person to do the event today, we're gonna be jumping on over to, I guess Kaz and went on because the camera's already right here for me. For the identification spellcraft check test thing.
Okay.
So I might actually have to come up with a better reward at this point if Marcus was to win this competition. The bonus rewards for this has only gone up to 5 if 5 are 1. Marcus has won 5. Anyway, Bananakas, having come to the town center with technically Taurus, though Taurus continues walking by, sees that the central area is once again fenced off. The desks and whatnot are still inside, along with the old man statue at the head of the area. I don't know how else to describe it. And just like for previous tests, he announces that, if you want to take part of the competition to, sign up, blah blah blah, enter in, take a seat, and the competition will be beginning in a few minutes. I assume you guys sign up, enter in, maybe chat a bit.
Yeah. How many people are around? Quite a few again, or less so?
There are roughly 30 other people. And as I've learned from my lesson before, not all 30 will be actually getting roles for them. Because, fuck that. It's too typical. Well, I imagine you guys are going to be talking then? Or something?
I don't know.
Okay. How about this then? Everyone talks to each other right now because, bathroom? As in, I'll be right.
Okay.
I'm getting tired.
We'll be ending up soon-ish.
Okay.
I'm also going to be back in a bit.
Sorry, I'm getting tired. Oh, I love it when that happens. I wish I could stream like earlier in the day instead of at these night times because I just fucking crash after a certain point because I've been up so long. Tef, that would be awesome. I wish it's a dream, but it's so far gone. That whole I don't think it's gonna happen. Honestly, it'd be cool, but I would have to try and focus less on work and more on streaming, and working a full-time job's hard to do that with. This is so crazy.
What is?
My little stream pet thing has apparently taken off. I threw that on there because I thought it was silly. I'm watching somebody pet him. I love it.
What are you talking about?
On my Twitch page, there's a little fox. There's a little pet, Twitch pet extension.
I'm not seeing it anywhere.
You don't see- Here, come look.
Back.
Look back.
Welcome back.
So, out of curiosity, conversation happening? Or happened?
My Twitch pet level to level 30 apparently.
No, I saw that. I'm talking about roleplay. Dead.
Not really. At this point, Unan's mostly just focused on the competition, since he's done relatively well. Not like in a cocky way, but in a I'm really enjoying this kind of a way.
Other than that, yeah. Cause is just prep for the competition. Now I'm showcasing LaRose, the D&D map. I want to go to the Shanty Shack. The Shanty. Cal built it, and Marcus and others helped. It's a beautiful map.
I mean, the it's mine. Jared helped build, like, the actual buildings and trees. I don't... Marcus helped with the, town... no, not town. The Priest Model buildings, but, I mean, that was, like, a last-minute thing for that one side.
They look really good. I like them. I helped with heads. Anyway, competition.
Yeah, trying to find if there's a fucking random spell picker from the internet, Dad. Not really finding one.
Pick one up. It'll work.
Found one, website's kinda suck. Might actually see about building my own damn generator at this point. Obviously not right this second, but in the future. Okay. I have 6 spells. That's fine. So, a few minutes go by. Everyone that wanted to participate in the competition enters into the center of, the arena. Whatever. Finds their own desk, etc. There's, Unan and Unan and Kaz, sit next to each other, like before.
That kind of depends on Kaz. Unan just kind of gets a seat somewhere where he feels that he would be most advantageous to viewing
Kaz is gonna sit next to him this time. He feels like there's buddy.
Alright, well, in that case, the old man statue begins speaking to everyone. Welcome, everyone, once again to another test of, spells. For today's event, it is going to be a identification test for the contestants to identify and name 6 different spells that are going to be casted, along with any details of them. So, you know, typical classes that would be using them or something like that. And do not be alarmed to anyone in the crowd, as all of these spells are being casted as illusions, so they will not harm anyone in the process of the test. But they are going to be as true to the actual effect of the spell as they can be, even as an illusion. So first up, we are going to be using this one as the statue seems to come alive and move, casting a particular spell known as, well, Ash Storm. So a bunch of ash just appears above him, fluttering about, cinders in it, etc. Both you and Kaz, you being Unan, both Unan and Kaz will need to roll me a spellcraft.
25.
Hit.
Try to find my dice. There it is. 15.
What is you guys' bonus to spellcraft?
Plus 8.
Plus 7.
Alright, well, unfortunately, Kaz is unable to identify the spell properly, but Unan is. Unan recognizing it as Ash Storm and knowing that it is commonly a spell used by druids and sorcerers and wizards. Practically also used by witches, but Unan's character does not know that in this particular case.
Okay.
As the statue allows everyone a few minutes to recognize what the spell is and write down their answer, the next one appears as an audible sound. Oh, audible and visual sound, I should say. As the statue is casting ear-piercing scream.
It's a visible sound?
Yes. Otherwise, it would be kind of boring for, you know, the spectators to be like, woo. They'd be just like, it's a sound. Woo. You gotta add some flair, lame. So, if Unan and Kaz would like to roll spellcraft.
23.
16.
Alright, well, Unan and Kaz both realize that the spell is Ear-Piercing Scream. Typically casted by bards, sorcerers, wizards, amongst a few others. Though Kaz's character would definitely know that there are other classes that typically cast it more than others. Next up, after the same amount of time it kind of goes by for people to write down their answers, just a bubble appears above them, or above the statue, I should say.
18.
And what did Kaz get?
He got a nat 1, a 9.
Alrighty then. Well, Kaz is unable to identify the spell, perhaps because he hasn't really gone into water. But Unan definitely knows that the spell is called Air Bubble. It's a small pocket of breathable air that surrounds a touched creature's head or the touched object, blah blah blah. Typically cast by clerics, druids, sorcerers, and wizards. It's not a spell too often used unless, you know, you got people that can't breathe in water going into water. Or typically used, you know, in weird scenarios if you're in a mist of poison or something.
Has its uses.
That kind of error will.
Next up, a block of metal, which appears to be iron, appears above the statue as it slowly turns red.
Me and Tim know this one.
11.
Wait, what was the spell description?
A block of metal
A
appears
20.
above the statue and slowly turns red.
One of Thorner's favorite.
God damn it.
Heat metal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure, Unan does not know it though, because 4 on the die. Yeah, 11.
Yeah, unfortunately, Unan is not able to identify the spell, but Kaz is more than able to. As Kaz realizes it is indeed heat metal, a transmutation spell of fire. Not commonly casted by too many different classes, but it is used by druids and psychics. So I'm going to say one of the NPCs that I'm doing rules for right now has rolled a 12, 27, 12, and 12.
Welcome to my 17s.
And as a few minutes go by for everyone to do their answers, the metal actually bursts into flames and is now just, well, a bright flame that does not seem to go away.
26.
27.
I see you got a 19 as well, Tate.
Well, in that case, both of you are able to identify this spell as Continual Flame, as it is often casted by clerics, inquisitors, occultists, psychics, sorcerers, wizards, blah blah blah. A lot of people typically use this spell, and it is often a permanent-based spell, so it will not go away. Great for making a custom torch. Often actually used as an ingredient spell, if you will, in the Everlasting Torch, Everburning, whatever the hell it's called.
I think it's ever burning.
Mordenkainen's ever burning torches?
And for the last spell, the flame disappears, and 3 small bats appear in their place, doing some fancy air work to please the crowd.
26 again.
Also, that
I got. Oh, you bitch of a dice!
of a die.
Excuse me for my wordage. A 16, but it almost rolled onto a 20, and then it like stopped and rolled back onto the 8.
I mean, the 16 matches the DC. Also, the one NPC that I mentioned about getting in 12s, got a 19 and then another 12. So 4 of the 6 rolls of theirs have been 12. Needless to say, I do not think that in particular NPC is winning this competition. Regardless, Kaz is able to identify the spell as Summon Minor Monster, along with Unan, but Unan knows that this is typically used by anti-paladins, bards, clerics, sorcerers, wizards, summoners under a different path, maybe. And
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, Unan would basically just, he'd know this one, he'd be like, oh, that's what I'm supposed to do. And I don't. That was it.
Alright, give me a second to figure out who all the hell won. While that is happening, though, all 6 spells are casted simultaneously to, you know, kind of just be showy until the winner's actually picked. You might even say the bats are on fire while inside of an air bubble that seems to be oddly coated with a translucent metal. Because, you know, illusions, they can do anything.
Wait, there was 3 bats? He summoned 3 monsters in 1 turn? That's against the rules.
No, it's not. Summon Minor Monster allows you to summon 1d3
Screw
tiny or
rules,
smaller animals.
he has money. He was
Oh,
making
I was-
reference.
I was making a reference, Cal.
Oh, I obviously missed it.
It was Yu-Gi-Oh! Bridge. Hence me saying, fuck the rules, he has money.
Screw the rules. My hair is green.
Conversely, by the way, to the one NPC rolling 12s, the last NPC is literally getting 1 out of the 6. With their rolls of 13, 9, 7, 13, 9, 22. They rolled terribly. Well, coincidentally, after some time has been determined who the winner is, it is Winan. Having identified 5 of these 6 spells correctly, and the NPC is kind of failing that. Based on what I did for the 5 NPCs, Tate got 2nd along with one of the NPCs.
Tate, I feel like by this point, Kaz has to be questioning why Unan is so innocent and childish, and yet fucking brilliant.
No, Kaz doesn't really question it. After all, he's just here to... He's participating in the competitions for fun. Anything that allows, like, showcasing or showmanship, he's been absolutely trying his hardest, though.
Well, the old man statue calls for Winan to once again come up to get the reward, and also makes note that this is the 6th competition for the Wizards Guild that Winan has won.
Does he get a special Wizard Guild treat?
He
Permanent
gets a free
transformation
hat.
into...
To be determined at a later date, Ted, because I don't actually have anything marked down for 6 wins. I stopped at 5.
Well, Unan goes up.
The statue moves to pull out a amulet, as well as a bag of 30 gold. The statue then announces that the amulet is a armillary amulet. I might be pronouncing that incorrectly. but is a thin chain of silvery gray metal that holds a series of interlocking rings that slowly turn within themselves in an accurate replication of the celestial sphere. What does that mean? It gives a +5 confidence bonus on spellcraft checks. It also grants immunity to the dangerous effects of the orrery of Nao Kashel, but I don't know what the fuck that is. Lincoln mumble. Well, after the reward is handed over, the statue thanks everyone for coming, and also announces that tomorrow's test will be a alchemy crafting one, so make sure to stop out here again for, well, possibly some mishaps, but who knows, we'll have to see then.
Whee! Kaz does turn to Unan and shakes his hand. Congratulations! I've seen you win quite a bit. It's rather impressive, honestly.
Thank you.
That thank you sounded so fake. I don't know why.
You're like I love fucking
Because
with
tired
Marcus, I'm
Marcus
sorry.
can't, like, be energetic and happy.
You're like some kind of prodigy or something, Unan. It's amazing, honestly. Your sister
it's
must
nothing.
be really good at what she does as well.
Yeah, I'd say she is.
I also love saying these nice complimenting things to Marcus, and Marcus having to portray his character back to me is this just really kind, complimentary thing.
Alright, well, any other roleplay happening?
Not that I know of.
In which case, we're going to be jumping over to Cardum and Sandeep to do their other test, and then that'll be it for the session. So, Cardum, Sandeep, if you guys are still awake over there.
Yes.
I am here.
If you're wondering, I'm trying to get through like a full day's worth of events.
That's fair.
So, Cardum and Sandeep enter or go up to the Boulderfist building.
I'll go around because I'm pretty sure I know that this one's outside, right?
Yes, it would have been announced during yesterday's test that this one will be outside, and that if you attempt to enter the building, you will probably be locked out. Like how you guys went that way instead of the other way. For some reason, I expected you guys going around the left, not the right, but whatever.
Well,
I
we
mean,
came
that's why
from
I'm
the
just
right.
going straight up.
Fair enough. Well, Sandeep and Karnam enter the other side and find a, what can only be described as an obstacle course of sticks, logs, and other natural things. Rocks. I don't have any other things that come to mind that are natural that is able to actually withstand someone stepping on them.
Dirt.
Yeah, maybe some weird dirt pillars or something. I don't know. And both of you must realize that must be the course for the next day's event. If you guys take a moment to look around a bit more, you will see that besides there being a group of people, of course, grouped up here, there is what appears to be something similarly built in terms of an obstacle course, but instead of, I don't know, seem like you need to be jumping from one to another, it goes higher. So you'll probably be using that obstacle course of description instead of the other one. And Cardin was going where?
Yeah, well, I assumed that, like, the jumping one was going to be, like, kind of this area, and the one we're looking for is probably farther back.
No, the jumping one's actually going to be on this side, going this way, and the climbing one's over here.
I had a 50-50 shot. Took the wrong 50.
Coincidentally, that's also where the crowd is. Also, mentioning about the crowd, there are some people kind of further along the obstacle course with the climbing one, you know, spectate from different angles and whatever they so desire, so maybe they're not just clumped up on one side as much. As you guys arrive, though, it seems like a bunch of other contestants are also showing up. It seems this one's a bit more of a popular event of the Monks Guild, and if you guys spent a bit of time looking, you guys will actually see Thindrar show up as well. He is actually not being the announcer this time around. Instead, he is participating. And if you're wondering, he is participating in his armor. So he's kind of doing it for the laughs rather than being serious. But anyway, a few minutes go by, and what appears to be one of the monks from the guild comes out from who knows where. Just kind of randomly appears and starts talking to everyone, welcoming them to the, I'm going to call it the 4th annual climbing acrobatics event of theirs. mentioning that the contest is about speed and agility for kind of running up walls to a person's best ability. So keep in mind that speed is definitely an important factor, but making it's probably the biggest one, since most people will fail actually getting to the top. As he essentially points out two oddly shaped like walls and whatnot for climbing purposes, obviously, but you know, they kind of get smooth in one spot and you might have to make a jump to another wall and continue climbing, stuff like that.
So now I need to balance between half the test holding my mace in my hand and not.
I mean, you could also just unequip the mace. You know, magically have it floating there on your back.
Well, I mean, I get plus 10 speed when wielding a metal weapon.
Ah.
Mace. You're macing me crazy.
I'm not sure how that would work with climbing, honestly. But if you want to certainly give it a go, I certainly won't stop you.
Jared, do you have a dagger? It is a weapon, and it is metal, and you could theoretically use it as a makeshift rock climbing pick thing, whatever they're called.
I think I was looking at buying that, but I never actually did it. I might have a knife in my gear, I can't remember.
So is Sandeep going to go that route at all?
I would probably do most of the time without it, but if there's one that looks like it'll need speed over just the ability to climb, I might pull it out just for like the 1 or 2 jumps that might need it.
Well, I mean, this whole thing is about speed and climbing potential. Making it to the top the fastest as you can is kind of the big thing, though. Think of it as, shit, what's the TV show? American Ninja Warrior? Going through an obstacle course as fast as they possibly can.
At least it's not fucking MXC.
I don't know what that is.
Do you know about Takeshi's Castle?
Yeah.
It's that.
Ah.
It's
MXC
similar to
is the
Ninja Warrior,
version-
but more comedy.
Yeah. It's Takeshi's Castle, but it's what the American version is called. Well, not American version, but the English version.
They made that into...
Getting ready
Wait,
to
they have an
pass
English
out.
version for that?
They translated some of it into English.
Huh. Weird.
Yep.
Well, Sandeep going to go with that then when he sees fit, if at all possible. Granted, keep in mind trying to pull out a dagger while you're mid-climb and using that or whatever is gonna definitely cost you a bit of time doing that, so, I mean, keep that in mind. But for the competition itself, it's gonna be 5 acrobatic rolls and 5 climb rolls. With that, what is your guys' bonus to acrobatics?
6.
9.
I'm sorry, it's not 6, it is also 9. I've weight in my inventory that's actually technically in
Wait
my...
a second. I am taking off my armor.
I have weight on my inventory that's actually in my room at the inn.
It is 10.
Okay. What about climb?
3. 5.
5.
Fucking minuses from weight.
That means on jumps when I have my mace, my acrobatics is 14, since it's plus 4 for jumps when with a higher base speed.
Okay. So, the monk begins the competition, and some of the NPC contestants take their go at it. Most of which they fail overall, but the few that make it kind of do it quickly-ish, but it could definitely be done faster. They're slightly above average, if you will. However, one is definitely taking their time, but they very much do make it, but based on what you've seen previous contestants that made it, they probably aren't going to win overall. So finally, it's Carnum doing his rolls, and if you want to roleplay any of that, feel free to.
Yeah, I'm just adding up my total for acrobatics.
Yeah, I'll need essentially the total for the 5 acrobatic and then total for the 5 climb.
So my acrobatics total was 121. My climb isn't going to be as good, but it's not that bad. 7. And my climb total was 94.
Alright, did you want to roleplay how you did any of the climbing or anything?
Not particularly, no.
Okay. What about you, Jared?
You want to add the acrobatics first?
It doesn't really matter, honestly. But acrobatics would be nice, just because that's the way I have it laid out for me.
131 for acrobatics. I did good on my first, middle, and last acrobatics checks.
And what about your climb?
110.
Oh, looks like Sandeep is beating Karnam.
Damn.
I had my mace in the last 2 jumps, so I only added 8 extra on the acrobatics.
Alright, let me do a little bit of math.
I had already added that into my total.
Math to find out who the actual winner is.
I know, I was just clarifying. I did strongly in the middle. Both my climb and my jump were at 19 on the dice. It's a good thing we leveled up, otherwise my climb would have only been +1.
Wait, how would it have only been +1?
I didn't have a point in climb until 2nd level.
You actually have climb as a class skill?
Yes. I think that might be why I took it, as it's one of my Sensei class skills.
Well, after a few minutes of determining who the winner is, the monk announcer determines that the winner is Sandeep, with a overall point score of 167.6 repeating. And in second place would be Cardum, with a overall point score of 152.3 repeating. So I challenge anyone to figure out how I got these numbers. It's actually kind of simple math, but it's really not obvious. After that, Kipple NPCs, and in 5th place with the armor and whatnot is Thandrar. So,
Wow, he still took 5th?
yeah.
That's hilarious.
Remember the one guy I mentioned about not going as fast as the others, but still making it? That was Thandrar.
So he was sandbagging?
He pretty much probably would have won if he didn't wear his armor.
I mean, level 20 kind of gives you that advantage.
Climb is not actually a class skill for him.
No, but he still potentially has 10 ranks in it.
He's also not trained in acrobatics, neither of which are class skills, and he has not trained in either of them. The rolls were nice to him, okay? That's all I can say. Yeah, no, he gets a +4 in climb and a +1 in acrobatics. Anyway, the monk calls for Sandeep to come up to get their reward.
I walk up.
The monk asks you to hold out your hand.
I do.
He hands you a bag containing a stone. You look inside said bag. It is a deep red sphere ion stone. And if you're wondering, it's a +2 enhancement bonus to Dex. The monk does tell you what the stone is and what it does, etc. So you will have knowledge of it. You will not have to find out later. After that,
Gotta head to bed.
any roleplay happen between Karnam and Sandeep? You know, like Karnam questioning why Sandeep is able to jump, considering Sandeep is a Undyne.
A fish person?
Yeah.
I mean, not really.
Now I just need a hang glider so I can be master of land, sea, and air.
I mean, you might be able to find a hang glider. Probably not in this place, but might be another race that might have worked on it.
Yeah, Carter's seen and done some weird shit. After all, he won the fucking thieves competition without actually, you know, having any training in that. Or the sleight of hand competition. Going around stealing shit from guards. So it's not like especially strange that fish people can jump.
Not only jump, but can also climb.
I mean, he has hands.
Alright, well, I imagine then, after a little bit of chatter, you guys are going to be heading off to the next respective test of yours.
He...
In which case, that is where we're going to be ending off the session, then. Which, Taurus and, Autumn are heading off to the Thieves Guild for the stealth test. And, Kaz, Sandeep, and Unan are heading off to the, merchants area? I believe is where the Hegler test is.
I think so.